How it is, bro? It's the Bareback Barbarians podcast up in this piece doing what we do. It's the Bareback Barbarians podcast up in this piece doing what we do.
What's going on, folks? It's Mo Genie, baby. Now, I gotta talk about UFC, the fight that went out yesterday. Khabib Nurmagomedov against Poirier. Right? Big fight. UFC 242. Now, this was a heavy one. Alright, this was Khabib fighting after he had beaten Conor McGregor, after he had gotten suspended, had to pay the fine for jumping over the octagon into the crowd. The whole shebang. This was Khabib's return. And this was Khabib having to defend his title. Lightweight title. So, this fight went as most people assumed it was, and it was in Abu Dhabi. Alright, this is a big one. You know what I mean? This is a fight. UFC's never gone over to the Middle East, and this was a big one. Everybody thought this fight would be a good matchup because the American Poirier, you know, let me read the top of the headline for you. Khabib Nurmagomedov fought against American title holder Dustin Poirier. The fight lasted 3 rounds. UFC 242 in Abu Dhabi Saturday as a lightweight fight. Alright? Now, this was a fight of 2 guys in the same style, wrestlers. You know what I mean? Khabib had a huge following in Abu Dhabi, obviously a Muslim country. Khabib's Muslim. So, you know, it wasn't really home field advantage, but I mean, you know, you got to give it to him. I mean, the guy's fought in America plenty of times. You got to give him a little bit of an advantage fighting in a Muslim country, I guess. So it was a good fight. So it went 3 rounds. Poirier got taken to the ground numerous occasions by Khabib. Khabib was all over him. He had him down at least 3 times in the first. Gets to the second, people, you know, the commentators started thinking that Khabib was getting tired. He might have been fatigued a little bit. Nope. He was just eyeing him out. He was testing him out. First round, Khabib was just, you know, cruising the round, just seeing where he was, but he did take him down a couple times. Second round, he took him down numerous occasions, and Poirier one time had him in a guillotine. Anybody who watches UFC knows if you get a guy in a guillotine on the ground, it's almost 100% submission. This dude, Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov, got out of the guillotine. Out of the guillotine, just wiggled his way out of the guillotine, reversed it, and put Poirier in a submission. And this is the 3rd round, and Khabib submits Poirier with a rear naked chokehold. Now, nobody is better than Khabib in wrestling in UFC right now. You can say McGregor's the best striker, but definitely the best wrestler is Khabib. Nobody wants to be on the ground with this dude. This dude is an animal. There's videotapes of this dude wrestling bears when he was a kid, when he was 5 years old. I might just put it on a loop right now. Khabib, even if you think you got Khabib and you're about to submit him, the dude wiggles out like a fish and just gets out of it. I mean, to be in a guillotine position, locked and loaded, your head's in there, you got a dude choked out, you about to choke him, and he had him like that, and Khabib just wiggled out like a salmon out of the water, just wiggled out of that guillotine, reversed it on Poirier, hit him with the lock and loaded, and it was over. The fight was over. Congratulations to him. He's got a couple belts now. The dude is just at the top of his game. They're talking about him fighting. Well, after the fight, he actually jumped out of the ring, which is funny. But when he jumped out, he went and hugged Dana White. He hugged his dad, you know. And people are trying to see a rematch with Conor, him and Conor, but they're talking about him fighting Taylor. They're talking about him fighting a couple of other guys. So I don't know. But he got a big payday for this. This fight being in Abu Dhabi, you know what I mean? This is in the Gulf. This is oil country. He got a big payday off of this, and he's still the man. So Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov, respect his name. This was a quick little clip for the Daily Shakedown. It's the Bareback Barbarians podcast. Peace.
Yeah, you know who it is, Don Tony Teflon, Mo Genie Languini. You know how we do. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Bareback Barbarian podcast. Peace and stay sexy.